You ever hear a story that flips everything you thought you knew about loyalty, danger, and the people we take for granted? The kind of story that grabs you by the throat in the very first seconds? Because this one starts with a billionaire laughing, loud, carefree, almost mocking, completely unaware that the 12-year-old girl standing across from him had just saved his life. And the wild part? She didn't do it with bodyguards, fancy gadgets, or some dramatic movie-style move. She did it by quietly switching his drink. A kid, a maid's daughter, someone he barely noticed. The only reason he survived was because she paid attention when nobody else did. All right, let me tell you exactly how this went down. So, the billionaire, Adrian Cole, he was one of those men who had the world in his pocket. Private jets, island homes, high-security compounds, all that billionaire-level excess. But what really defined him wasn't the money. It was the arrogance that comes with believing nothing can touch you. He walked through life like danger was something that happened to other people. Not him. Never him. He lived in this massive mansion with a full staff, chefs, drivers, bodyguards, assistants, the whole machine. And among all those people working behind the scenes was a maid named Evelyn. She had been there for years, one of the quietest, most hard-working women you'd ever meet. Always on time, always polite, always invisible to the billionaire world she served. She moved like someone who didn't want to disturb the air around her. Evelyn had a daughter, Sasha, 12 years old, sharp-eyed, a kind of quiet intelligence that adults underestimate just because it's wrapped in the body of a kid. And unlike her mom, Sasha wasn't invisible. She observed everything, every face, every mood, every sound. She'd help her mom sometimes, wiping counters, carrying folded towels, picking up cups after meetings. Nothing special, nothing glamorous, but it put her in rooms where she saw more than anyone realized. Now here's where the story actually begins. One evening, the billionaire was hosting this small, private dinner. Just 6 people, big investors, polished shoes, the kind of men who pretend they're friends but secretly check each other's bank balances. They were in his home bar, which overlooked the city like they were kings above the world. Drinks poured, jokes flying, cigars in crystal ashtrays. And Sasha was nearby helping her mother set out fresh glasses. That's when she noticed something off. One of the billionaire's security staff, this new guy, hired only a month earlier, kept lingering near the bar. Not standing guard, not scanning the room, just hovering. Nervous, twitchy, eyes darting toward the billionaire's drink more than toward anything else. Sasha had seen nervous people before, but this wasn't that. This was a different kind of tension, like he was waiting for something to happen. Then she saw him do it. A tiny movement, so small an adult would have missed it. He reached toward the billionaire's glass, pretending to straighten bottles, and dropped something inside. A grain-sized, nothing dramatic, nothing obvious, just small, silent, dangerous. Sasha froze. She didn't breathe. Her heart kicked against her ribs. She wasn't stupid. She knew what poison looked like. Her mother used to teach her how to recognize cleaning chemicals, how never to mix the wrong things. And this wasn't dust. This wasn't a crumb. This was deliberate. The security guard stepped away, trying too hard to look casual. Sasha looked at the billionaire, laughing loud, talking over everybody, completely unaware that the next sip he took might be his last. She didn't call out. She didn't scream. She didn't run to her mother because her mother would panic and panic waste time. Instead, this little girl walked forward like she belonged behind that bar, picked up his glass, and said with complete innocence, "Sir, your drink looks cloudy. Let me get you a fresh one." Everyone paused. The billionaire blinked at her like she'd spoken from a mile away. Then he laughed. He actually laughed. "Cloudy? It's whiskey, sweetheart, not orange juice." He was amused, slightly annoyed, but mostly entertained by the idea that a maid's kid was giving him drink advice. He didn't know she had just saved him. She didn't flinch, didn't back down. She just smiled, that small polite smile kids use when they're trying to act like adults, and said, "It doesn't look right. I'll get a new one." And before he could argue, she took it, walked straight to the sink, dumped the entire thing out, rinsed the glass, filled a new one with the same whiskey from a sealed bottle. Quiet, calm, controlled. Then she placed it in front of him like this was her job. The billionaire just shook his head, chuckling. Kids these days. Dramatic, huh? He laughed. Loud, carefree, without a clue. But someone else wasn't laughing. The security guard, The one who dropped something in the drink went pale. His eyes locked onto Sasha with a panic he couldn't hide. He excused himself too quickly, tried to leave the room without drawing attention. But Sasha noticed that too. After the guests left, after the billionaire finally disappeared into his private office, Sasha found her mother and quietly told her what she saw. Evelyn felt the blood drain from her face. She grabbed Sasha's hand and marched straight to the head of security. They reviewed footage, zoomed in, replayed the moment. That's when everything cracked open. What Sasha saw wasn't imagination. The guard had slipped something into the glass. Something that lab tests later confirmed was a fast-acting toxin that leaves almost no trace. The kind of thing that would make a death look like a heart attack. When the billionaire learned the truth, he went silent. Not angry, not yelling, just silent. Like the weight of his own mortality finally hit him full force. His voice cracked when he asked, "And she switched the drink?" They told him yes. The maid's daughter saved his life. He had one reaction. He asked to see her. Sasha came into the room nervous but calm, because she was brave in a way most adults never learn to be. The billionaire looked at her for a long second before whispering, "Why did you do that?" He wasn't mocking this time. He genuinely wanted to know. And Sasha, in the softest voice, said, "Because something felt wrong. And my mom says if something feels wrong, you fix it if you can." No bragging, no fear, no demand for praise. The billionaire laughed again, but not the same laugh as before. This one was hollow, shocked, almost ashamed. "You saved my life," he said, trying to understand how a girl could see what an entire team of professionals missed. That night, he did something no one expected. He fired the entire security team except 2 senior guards. He hired a forensic investigator. He held a closed-door meeting with legal counsel. And then, he called Evelyn and Sasha to his office. He didn't offer money first. He apologized. To the maid. And to her daughter. He apologized for not seeing them, for walking past them every day like they were invisible. He apologized for trusting the wrong people while ignoring the ones who genuinely cared. Then he did what billionaires do when they feel gratitude they can't express with words. He asked what they wanted. A new home? College fund? Medical bills? He was ready to give them anything. Evelyn shook her head. She didn't want anything fancy. She just wanted a safer environment for her daughter. A future where Sasha wouldn't spend her life cleaning up after men like him. The billionaire nodded. Then he made a decision without hesitation. He paid for Sasha's full education. Every year, every supply, every book, private tutors, future college scholarship, everything. He promoted Evelyn, doubled her salary, and gave her a position that didn't require scrubbing floors. But what really changed wasn't the money. It was the way he looked at people after that. The way he listened. The way he stopped assuming that power equals wisdom. Sasha didn't just save his life. She forced him to see the world from below for the first time. And years later, Sasha grew up and became one of the top forensic chemists in the state. The billionaire funded her research lab because he knew she didn't save his life once. She might save dozens, maybe hundreds. And every year on her birthday, he sends her the same message. "Thank you for noticing what none of us did." And she replies with the same humble sentence. "I just did what anyone should." Except everyone knows, not everyone would have. And definitely not with the courage of a 12-year-old maid's daughter who saw danger where billionaires only see comfort. If this story hit you, if it reminds you how often people look down instead of looking closely, drop a comment, hit the like button, and share it with someone who needs to hear that heroes don't always wear badges or suits. Sometimes they're just smart, brave kids who refuse to ignore what matters. Thanks for watching, Black Visionaries family.